Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. This evening's discussion will be pertaining to the disappearance of Rose Bly, who is the biological aunt of Summer Wells and the biological sister of Candace Bly Wells. In this commentary, it will be a question of, is there a connection between the two disappearances? Or is it possible that Rose Bly is alive? And I originally wanted to put in this title, is there a connection between Summer Wells and Miss Bly? But when I got information right before going on, is it possible that Miss Bly is alive? And I will bring you that said information when I'm done reading everything in my commentary. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you so very much. Got 31 viewing. Yes, I've got information that possibly the sister of Candace Wells, Candace Bly, whichever name she goes by, possibly the sister is alive. I just got that information before going live. I would have been on, but I had to redo everything, my notes and everything. So that is said information that possibly she's not missing. She's been alive this whole time, and the source is claiming that she is. We'll go from there. Thanks for joining me. I've got 29 viewers. Coffee time. I'm going to read you the set information. I'll be bringing you two sources of information pertaining to the storyline. Rose Marie Bly's haunting last trip. Without a trace, how will this mystery be solved? This was uploaded June 25th, and the author is Jean Campbell. And you also see a said picture of the missing woman and her father, late father. Sorry about that if you can see the picture. Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you. Summer Wells, a 5-year-old girl from Eastern Tennessee, disappeared last week. She comes from a big family with 3 brothers who have the same bleach blonde hair and blue eyes. Her full name, Summer Moon Utah Wells, reflects another place her family once called home. No one has seen Summer since the evening of June 15th, and no one knows exactly where she last was, in the house or yard, when she went missing. In a startling coincidence, another Bly family member vanished over a decade ago. Rose Bly, the sister of Summer's mother, Candace, disappeared from her rural Wisconsin home in the summer of 2009. Authorities have stated there is no connection, but law enforcement in Wisconsin has not ruled out foul play in that case once their report has never gone cold. Daily updates continue to pour in regarding Summer's fate. Although the news is never good and rehashes same scant information, volunteers working under the direction of dozens of law enforcement agencies who search on foot and in the air, trying to find a little girl who would have no reason to stray. Her father, Don, has said Summer would never leave our hill. Her mother, Candace, is too distraught to speak with reporters. Candace has passed a polygraph regarding her daughter's disappearance. As Summer's story darkens into its own mystery, the baffling question of Rose Marie Bly's whereabouts lingers. Some of the details sketch a portrait of an unstable marriage and a mother who seemed unlikely to abandon her children, but law enforcement has no suspects. Rose Marie's last ordinary day. Rose was a mom and wife involved in a tumultuous new marriage to a man named Christopher Larson, who she wed in February 2009. After she vanished, Larson told media he thought she left, but he did not know where she was. Rose grew up down the road from St. Croix Falls in tiny Grantsburg, population 1,384, in the far western part of Michigan, where Polk County butts up against the Minnesota border and the scenic St. Croix River. Heading out on a Friday night for a few drinks, she left home after supper with her husband and his father. The last person who saw her was Chris Larson. Rose's destination was another tiny town, Cushing, just a few miles north. It was late August 2009, and the day had been reasonably cool with gusty winds and a portent of autumn on its way. Rose got behind the wheel of her car, a white 2001 Pontiac Grand Am, and began the 5-mile journey to Cushing at 7:30 p.m. She would drive through the barrens, an ecological oasis of stunned pine and oak forest clinging to sandy soil on mostly open terrain, which overshadows the tiny towns that dot the region. On a Friday night, the roads may have had a few more travelers than usual, but the area has never seen much traffic. She drove north on Highway 87, which remains unpaved until the 1950s. Her plan was to meet her cousin for a few drinks at a local bar. The cousin would later report she knew nothing of the plans. A casual evening. Rose Bly was a small woman, 5 feet tall and 110 pounds. She had brown hair that she dyed blonde or red frequently and usually dressed casually since her main occupation was caring for two toddlers. Her two girls were 1 and 2 years old. She was described by everyone who knew her as a devoted mom. 5 days after she drove off, her car was recovered 30 miles north of St. Croix Falls in the town of Grantsburg, where Rose attended high school. The location of her car was unremarkable, a roomy parking lot where truck drivers sometimes left their tractor trailers, according to the FBI VICAP alert. One local described the parking area as being near a laundromat. Another noted it was close to the post office. Her cousin reported never seeing Rose that night or thereafter. The Charlie Project, an extensive database of American missing persons, notes that her car was discovered 15 miles from Cushing, but gave no details on why it took 5 days to locate it. The last reported contact she made was a call to her husband, telling him she would be home around midnight. She had only been married for 6 months, but a divorce was inevitable. Motherless children. Within 3 weeks of her disappearance, Bly's newlywed husband filed for divorce, and it was not the first time. In September 2009, Larson requested a court order with the intention of ensuring Rose could not return and gain custody of the kids. The first divorce attempt had occurred just 2 months earlier in June 2009, but according to Larson, she talked him out of it. The couple had at least one domestic abuse incident, which played out around the time of Larson's initial divorce petition. It devolved into a he said, she said scenario. He accused her of slapping him. She maintained he put her in a headlock and slammed her to the ground. Larson petitioned for divorce after the police came out to de-escalate the conflict, but the two reconciled shortly thereafter and the petition was withdrawn. According to LeaderNewsRoom.com, Bly had an active bench warrant for a misdemeanor disorderly conduct charge after later amended to domestic abuse. The warrant was filed 3 months prior to her disappearance and seems likely related to the domestic incident in June after police showed up at the Bly Larson doorstep to break up a fight. She pled not guilty to the misdemeanor domestic abuse charge in July 2009, but due to her disappearance, the warrant has never been resolved. In 2010, Larson was granted sole custody of the two girls, according to a best friend from high school, Nicole Steele, who posted on the Help Find Rose Bly Facebook group. Rose said her husband had told her he would never let her take the girls. Law enforcement has extensively interviewed Rose's ex-husband, friends, family, and acquaintances. They didn't find evidence of any unusual patterns in her life prior to her disappearance, but one fact isn't up for dispute. She was a caring mother who put her children first. The Twin Cities Pioneer Press followed the story from its beginning and interviewed investigator Pete Johnson. I think I've heard that from just about everybody we talked to, said Johnson, who shared the initial investigation with Lisa Diddleston. Nobody believes that she would take off and leave her kids. In the days following Rose's disappearance, investigators interviewed community members, used helicopters to conduct a search and drain a small lake adjacent to the parking lot where her car was discovered. The last horseback ride and a missing set of keys. About a week before she disappeared, Rose went horseback riding, something she loved since childhood. She took a tumble and for the next few days told her mom, Candace Hare, she'd been getting headaches. Her mother suggested she go to the doctor. After Rose went missing, her mother wondered if she might have lost her way. Perhaps she had had a serious head injury. There is no medical evidence, however, that Rose was mentally impaired. In the ensuing years, the theory of a disoriented woman wandering away has begun to look unlikely. On March 4th, 2021, Candace Harrell, posted on the Help Find Rose Facebook group that authorities are not ignoring the case, but haven't been giving out details to the public. The evening she left home for the last time, Rose was dressed casually, wearing flip-flops and light clothes. She had on a pair of blue jeans and a white tank top, along with a green sweater against a cool night. Nothing in her demeanor or behavior suggested she was taking a journey that would last longer than a single evening out. Her vehicle was unremarkable and contained very little evidence. The car keys were never found. Rose didn't habitually use credit cards or debit cards, so there was no way to establish a paper trail of spending or transactions. Her cell phone records turned up zero leads and corroborate Chris Larson's account that she called him that night. August 21st, the night she went missing, was the last time her cell phone had any activity. Nothing about the vehicle except its abandonment was suspicious. DNA samples were taken from the Pontiac, but results have not been definitive enough to generate any persons of interest, much less a suspect or an arrest, and have never been shared with the public. The case investigation began with the Polk County Sheriff's Office, but as the leads dried up and the possibility of foul play emerged, local authorities asked for FBI guidance to make sure they were digging in the right places. Sparse news, loose theories. Speculation about what happened to Rose Bly in the absence of hard and fast evidence runs rampant online. In the tiny communities of St. Croix and Grantsburg, some high school friends remember Rose being bullied as a teen, but most commenters send prayers for the family and fondly remember her. 3 theories are banded about among those following the case. There isn't enough evidence to put one forward, as they are all speculative. Some community members opine that Chris Larson, her ex-husband, is involved, despite a lack of evidence tying him to a crime. Others believe it's possible Rose could have voluntarily left to start a new life. The third option is that she encountered a stranger and fell victim to foul play, will always remain a possibility. Larson took a polygraph in late August only a week after Rose went missing, and passed. According to authorities, he is not a suspect, and that is underlined. He is the person who reported her missing on August 22nd, 2009, and has no criminal history. Larson has continued to live and work in the community where he raises his 2 girls. Law enforcement maintains they have not ruled out anyone. However, as they sift through the small pile of clues, Polk County authorities have never announced any persons of interest, although Larson received the most attention. The husband is always suspect number 1, so the focus on him at the outset was standard procedure. Second, it's possible Rose Bly left town with another person, explaining why her vehicle was abandoned. She may have planned to leave the area, set up a meeting with her cousin, and driven instead to meet another individual. She may have believed Chris's promise he would never let her take her kids, and wanted out of what was, by several accounts, a problematic marriage. Third, Rose could have fallen victim to random crime. She may have helped someone on the highway, whether known to her or not, who abducted her. The Twin Cities Pioneer Press spoke with law enforcement in 2015, who hinted the most likely answer to the mystery of Rose Bly's disappearance is foul play. Polk County investigator Pete Johnson told the press, "First, we have to find out where she is before we have anything to have a suspect for. If you have any information about Rose Marie Bly, contact Polk County Sheriff's Office at 715-485-8300. This set information is by medium.com if you need a source. The next set of information is pertaining to Miss Rose Marie and I will bring you the set information. Thank you all that's in the chat. Thank you so very much. Okay, Nancy, I'm bringing you up there. Thank you.
Hi. How you doing?
Sorry. Do I have my volume up working? Hi, baby. Hold on. Okay, I just want to make sure I can hear you good. Sorry. Thank you all for joining. Okay, the next set of information. Okay, the next set of information is by DrydenWire.com pertaining to the disappearance of Marie Bly. Sister of Polk County missing person Rose Marie Bly now searching for missing daughter in Tennessee. Polk County Sheriff Walk states Rose Marie Bly missing person investigation is active. This was uploaded July 5th, 2021. And this is the same photograph of Marie, and Summer Wells. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Do know that they have done an age enhancement of Miss Bly in case she is alive. There is an enhancement that has been done on her. The sister of Rose Bly, a woman who went missing from Polk County in 2009, is now facing another tragic circumstance with the disappearance in Tennessee of her 5-year-old daughter, Summer Wells. On August 23rd, 2019, DrydenWire.com aired a live press conference via Facebook with Polk County Sheriff Walk's update on the disappearance of Rose Bly in 2009 from Polk County. When you open this commentary, you will see the said press conference if you need verification. And this is by Dryden Wire, DRYDEN Wire. Let me show you the enhancement of Miss Bly.
Yeah. It's like the older her.
Okay. Rose Bly left her residence in Northwest Polk County on August 21st, 2009 and has not been seen or heard from since. The Polk County Sheriff's Office has received hundreds of tips over the years and interviewed more than 150 people, according to the news release from Sheriff Walk. Sheriff Walk also released a video highlighting the painful journey of Rose's mother as she continued to search for her daughter. And I do believe you can find this said content, pieces of it on YouTube, because I was watching some people filming the mother as she was talking. Miss Bly's mother. Okay. Hawkins County Sheriff's Office is working with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and although hundreds of tips have been received, investigators are still working to establish a solid lead in Summer's disappearance, according to local station WJHL.com. Sheriff Walk told DrydenWire.com that the Polk County Sheriff's Office has been in contact with investigators who are working on the Tennessee missing persons case, which is Summer. We are open to sharing any information with anyone seeking more information regarding our missing persons case. Sheriff Walk asks that anyone with any information regarding the disappearance of Rose Bly contact the Polk County Sheriff's Office at 715-485-8300. To follow the progress of the investigation into the disappearance of Summer Wells, you may visit the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's newsroom online here. As they state, anyone with credible information regarding the disappearance of Summer Wells can contact the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's tip line at 1-800-TBI-5. This said information is by DrydenWire.com. So when you go to DrydenWire.com, you will see this article. You will also see the press conference pertaining to Marie Bly. And as I state, here's an enhancement of what they think she may look like today, if indeed she is still alive. Thank you all for joining me. I've got 107 viewing. Amen. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. This originally was a story about a connection between Rose and Summer. What's their connection? But as you see in my first commentary, law officials up there in Polk County are saying there is no connection between Rose Marie disappearance and Summer Wells disappearance. You're entitled to your interpretation. You're entitled to believe what you want about both disappearances and the said information thereof. I just got information before going live. She is alive.
That Rose is alive? Really? Wow.
That she has been collecting money. I asked, what kind of money? Social Security, disability, GoFundMe, what? They are waiting on the said information. Because I said, once I put that out there, people are going to ask, what? I don't have it all, but allegedly the source is solid and the information they got is solid.
Wow.
I can barely hear you.
I said, wow.
I know I'm saying my volume isn't good or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Hold on.
Woo.
Cold coffee. Ugh. I will now bring you my commentary pertaining to the disappearance of Rose. August 21st, 2009, she was last seen. Phone records have corroborated her calling her husband at 7:30 to say something about where she was going. Allegedly, she was going to meet a cousin. But as you see in my first commentary, That cousin denies ever meeting her, ever, or seeing her thereafter. Is it true that Rose Marie is alive and she left willingly on her own and used the rules that she was going to meet her cousin because she knew that she would never get her children away from this man who she's only been married to since that February of 2009. So that means they're only married a couple of months. Is he the father of one of all the children? Because she had a 1 and a 2-year-old. That was 9 years. That was in 2009. So what are we in now? 21?
Yeah.
That's what? 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So 1 and 2, the girls are preteens now. Where is she? Is she using a fake name? Excuse me, I have to look at my notes. Is she using a fake name, fake ID? Is she homeless? What is the deal with Rose Marie? Is someone pretending to be Rose Marie?
Yeah.
Bly and collecting money if this source is accurate with what they found? What kind of money? GoFundMe money, insurance, SSI, disability. What type of money are we talking about? Does this have anything to do with perhaps life insurance policy? I play dead, I collect life insurance money. What about the grandfather's inheritance if this is the same grandfather who everybody's talking about Summer getting inheritance from? I thought I heard when that she was supposed to stand in line to receive something from the said grandfather.
I thought she was supposed to get it first.
Okay, so let's go there. She's supposed to get it first, but then she goes missing.
Yeah.
Fast forward, a little girl is missing. She's supposed to stand in line after Rose Marie. Now she's missing, but yet law enforcement says there is no connection. No concern for your children. If you left on your own, you're not worried about your babies. You left a 1 and a 2-year-old behind with this husband that you've been having all this trouble with.
And
what's the deal with the marriage? I'm just reading everything off that we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
What was the deal with the marriage? Obviously, it was violent. There were altercations between the two. Who was the right one? Who was the wrong one? If or was Rose Marie a violent person? Because she has an open charge warrant as we speak that went into, that's on the books and happened right before her disappearance. As I say, are we talking about collecting a life insurance for 7 years? Would a person lie in wait that long to collect a life insurance policy? Somebody took out, play dead, play missing, play whatever. We collect the money. Say whoa. As I say, what kind of money? GoFundMe, SSI. What? Is this a case of fraud? Has she been using a fake ID? I'm going to say it again, fake ID. Is somebody pretending to be Rose Marie? If indeed somebody has proof that somebody's been using her name or a likeness of her or her name, what are we speaking of? If she's dead, is there connection to Summer Wells' disappearance? Who are our suspects? The husband, his father was there allegedly. This cousin, who is also denying ever seeing her or meeting her at that town where she's supposed to have been meeting the person. Is it a stranger? Did she get stranded? Blew a tire? Somebody helped her? They took her, abducted her, dumped her body somewhere. Or did she willingly leave because she's having marital problems and she feared she would never get her children? She just left. Did she go to meet somebody else and lied and said she's going to meet her husband? Lied to her husband and said, hey, I'm going to meet my cousin. Lied about the cousin, never met the cousin, but met somebody else. He, them, those, they harmed Marie. Is this just an issue of a woman leaving a bad marriage, a woman committing fraud to disappear? I don't know. Okay. The husband is the one saying she talked him out of divorcing her. Is that true? Or is he lying just to save face because he really don't want to admit he had feelings for his wife and he wanted to make the marriage work? What is the truth? As I said, 2 small children, 1 and 2, they're now left in the care of the father. He is raising them. He doesn't have a criminal record. And as I read these past information, they haven't mentioned that he has anything current on the books as far as any felonious activity, charges, yada, yada, yada. Why would he file for custody 3 weeks after divorce, right after she goes missing? Did he kill his wife? Bury her, dump her, He knew she wasn't coming back, so he said, well, I'm going to go ahead and file for custody and or divorce because she's not coming back.
Yeah,
And why would you do that if your wife is missing? Are you not hoping she would come back? Or has she done this before? Went off, got mad, they fought, woo, 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 she left, didn't tell nobody where she's going. Is this something Miss Marie has done before? Has Marie played possum, went off, or is this her first time going missing and never been seen again? If we're talking about foul play on the part of the husband, he had to have help. Her car was found 30 miles down the road in the town where she went to school, high school. Is that a connection? Say, well, car found at a truck stop where trucks frequent, tractor trailers. Was she going to meet somebody? Was she going there to do something felonious, such as prostitutes? I throw out the variables. You're entitled to your interpretation of that information. But if it's foul play on the part of the husband, you had to have help, Mr. Larson. Because if her car is 30 miles away, we have to count how did she get there? And if she didn't get there on her own,
and you got two little ones.
You took her car there to make it look like she did something in the world. Then that means somebody had to tell you to put her car there. Where's the surveillance of that parking lot? Because you have to have some type of surveillance of a truck stop, cars coming and going for the very reasons of felonious activities. No mention of that in any of the commentary I just brought to you. How long has she known him before she married him? Because they married February of 2009. She goes missing in August. So how long has she known this man? Are all her children by him? And as I say, he would have had to have help to dump her car if indeed he is the culprit behind the disappearance of her. The time set is 7:30. Her last activity of calling, phone records verified this 7:30 window. And in the end, everything you're hearing pertaining to that day, what she had on, is the version of Mr. Larson. Cousin denies ever seeing her or plans to meet her. Is this the truth? Is the cousin involved? And as I state, she's never saw her again, the cousin. 5 days later, from the day he filed a missing persons report, so mind you, the husband is the one who filed the report, her car is found 30 miles away. As I state, in the same town she attended high school. Is there a connection there in that said town? Husband filing for divorce 3 weeks after she's gone, getting custody of the children. Why? Did you know she wasn't going to return? So this is why you filed for divorce. Although you've done it before. But why this time you want custody? And it was said by the friend, Nicole, that Miss Bly told her, he will never let me have my kids. So did she just say, the hell with this life, this jacked up marriage, I'm just gonna go on and leave. I'm never gonna get my kids. They're all I got. So I'll just do me. I'm gonna leave this marriage. And sadly, leave my children behind. Who is the aggressor in that relationship at that time? Was it Mr. Larson or was it Marie? Or both? The warrant is still on file and not been resolved. A domesticated charge. What were they fighting over? These incidents where the police was called. What were they fighting over, and what were they fighting over the last time before she went missing? What was the fight about before she went missing and the fight before that? And as I say, call records show 7:30 is the last time, no cell phone activities after that. Also, she did not use debit or credit cards, so there is no paper trail on anything she did, said, used, whatever. To make sure I'm getting all this out. Missing August 21st, 2009. That's been many moons ago. She has not been seen or heard from. That's said information. Welcome to Everyday Shenanigans.
Gosh.
Take the floor.
Oh my gosh. You take a breath. How about that? Oh my
Well, I have to
Lord.
get it all out. See, that's the thing about reading stuff. See, a lot of people y'all fool with on watch. They don't read y'all nothing.
Whew.
They don't read. They just skim over stuff. I'm gonna bring it to you verbatim. That way, you can't come back and tell me this wasn't said, that wasn't said. You got a problem with the content I bring you? You take it up with the person who wrote the article. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I understand.
Thank you all for joining me.
That is unreal. Well, there's a lot. There's a lot I
But as
got.
I say, for those coming into the chat, excuse me, I'll just
That's
tear
okay.
my face. The sad information that I got today is that Rose Marie is alive.
Well, there's been money used, but you were not given specifics as far as
They can't. The person couldn't give me the specifics because they're waiting on the specifics. That's what was told to
okay.
them by a reliable source.
Okay.
She is
So,
alive. That's what they're saying. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know these people.
oh,
I don't even know the kid that's missing. That's up the road from me.
okay. Holy freaking mackerel.
We
Wow.
don't know any of these people. That's the thing about all these stories. These are random people giving you a version via TV, Facebook, YT. In the end, you don't know any of these people. And yes, it is odd to have two biological people missing. Very strange. Could this be a copycat? Let's just say the woman is dead. Could this be a copycat? Well, my sister went missing. Ain't nobody never found her. We'll get this little girl missing. We'll get this baby missing. So they'll think it's an inside job. Somebody don't like our family. Somebody's after us. Or could this be a case of fraud?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very well could
You don't
be.
know.
You don't know. Stolen identity, that comes up. There's a lot of things.
But as I tell you about with the insurance money, you'd have to be crazy to go along with that scheme, because if you're desperate for money, you don't have 7 years to wait to collect on anything. I don't care where the money's coming from. 7 years is too long to wait on anything. Now, we do see people waiting that long when they're fighting, disputing cases such as estate, wills, things like that. As you see with James Brown, that case went on for 15 years, his family battling over his money. He didn't want them to have his money. But in the end, they're getting it.
Yeah.
They're getting it. But this is not that type of case. This is not a wealthy person we're talking about, her or the child.
No. And if she wanted to, if she literally wanted to just disappear, why? If she was willing to leave her children and just walk away, she would literally just want to just kind of fade away into the, you know what I mean? She would want to just leave, fade away into the sunset. She wouldn't want to just like pop up all of a sudden and try to claim her father's inheritance, or you know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? She's not going to want to pop up now and try to claim this or that or the other. She could have popped up anytime and tried to come back into so-and-so's life or whatever. To me, my children would be worth more than an inheritance. Am I making myself clear? I mean, I would walk away.
You're speaking of you, but you're speaking for Nancy.
That's true. You're right. So, I mean, I don't know. I knew somebody personally that walked away from their children, so, and that's me. I wouldn't have done that. So, and they did. They walked away from their children. So, Well,
I brought you the sad information. But like I said, my original title was, is there a connection between Miss Marie and Summer? But before going on,
you got that nugget.
The call comes in, and the call was supposed to be about something else.
And that is one.
Because this person didn't even know I was even getting ready to talk about.
That's a golden egg. Let me tell you, that's a golden goose egg. And You know, who are we to say? We don't know. They could be, if it comes out to be legitimate and she indeed is alive, could be. They could be tied together. She could have been watching from afar and said, I am tired of watching that little girl get mistreated. I'm done. I'm going to just decide to do something about it. Who knows? We don't know. You're right.
Well,
We
well,
don't
after
know.
what I've read to you, what do you think?
My spirit says she's not.
She's not alive.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. My spirit says
Well,
no.
could it possibly be somebody is pretending to be her?
Yes. 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 Because that is just too coincident, just too much. Too much, too much, too much, too much, too much.
Well, this is how I look at it. As you know,
But
taking the polygraph, it doesn't really mean anything because it doesn't matter. It is not allowed in court, so it doesn't matter whether you passed it or not. It's just how it looks and people's interpretation of said information. So therefore, all we have to go on is what she told her husband in a conversation. We can't say what is and what isn't because she's not here to tell us anything. We don't have the cousin to say, I met her. This is what she said. This is what we did that night. Allegedly, the cousin is saying we didn't even meet. So I don't even know what y'all talking about. So that means she had to have told her husband, I'm getting ready to go over here to such and such ville to meet my cousin. But then when they talk to the cousin don't even know what anybody's talking about. And what I find interesting about this commentary is when I went into the original information, which led me to talking about Summer, there was no indication in that first article in the video I brought you a while ago that the cousin did not meet her or anything. That was never mentioned until I pulled this stuff up now. And usually newspapers copy off of other content. You understand what I'm saying?
it refers back.
They repeat verbatim what the last article said, and then they bring in something extra in case they've talked to the person directly. So I find it strange that in the first content I brought about Rose, there was nothing in there that said the cousin never met her. And I thought that's odd that would not be mentioned. Because wouldn't you want to go ask the cousin? Did you see her that night? Did you talk to her that night? Did you talk to her the day before? What happened?
Yeah, you would think so. And I extremely find it odd that only 3 weeks afterwards that he divorced her and then
he filed for divorce. He filed for divorce. Well, you got to remember, they were already having problems allegedly. They had done that before already, him filing for it, and he's saying, she talked me out of doing it. Of course, that's his version. I don't know what she said to you. I don't know if she talked you out of it or not.
Right.
But exactly. I wrote down that he probably threatened her. Well, if you leave me, you ain't getting these kids.
But still yet, Angie. I mean,
maybe she said to him, I won't leave you. I want to leave you. And he got scared because one, he didn't want her to go. But if he did want her to go, he didn't want her taking those kids. See, you don't know because this is his version.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's kind of like, exactly. That's almost play by play what we're kind of a mirror image of what we're dealing with now.
Well, see, that's the whole point of all these stories. I keep telling people, you can argue till you're blue in the face about what you think happened in a story. In the end, it doesn't even matter what you think because you don't know anything.
That's right. We don't.
You're going by the person who is living telling you what Pookie, Ray Ray, Shamiqua said. Well, they ain't here to tell me nothing. So I'm supposed to believe you. And people only believe the people that they rock with. Let's keep that real. Anybody that know Mr. Larson and like him, they going to rock with him. He ain't got no reason to lie. He's a good guy. He ain't been to jail. He ain't did this. He ain't did that. Well, most killers ain't never committed a crime. Most killers don't have a criminal record.
You got that right, Angie. They're going to defend him no matter what. No matter what they've done.
And just imagine if he is the culprit behind the disappearance and murder of Rose. He's now raising those girl children.
Yes.
Now imagine being raised by a killer, because it has happened. People who have not gone down for being the suspect in a murder They are left raising folks' children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, however it goes. And imagine sleeping every day in the house with somebody that killed your mom.
Yep. And sometimes they find out later the real truth. Yes. Very disturbing. Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Let's also address this. If indeed she is alive, she's
Mm-hmm.
had to have gotten wind that her grandfather died. Stay woke.
Yeah. That's her daddy, right? It was her dad that
Yeah,
passed
that's what
away.
I mean, father. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Yeah.
mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It's her dad that passed. Yeah.
Would I pop up? Would I pop up?
If I was alive, yeah, I would have popped up that day. If my dad had died, I'd have blown the wigs off of everybody. I'd have popped up that day. I might have put a hat on and some sunglasses and a mask for COVID.
You talking about going to a funeral?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about collecting
Oh,
memorabilia.
well, yeah. I mean, I don't know though, Ange. I just don't think
The thing about this, it's all ratchetness.
it is. It's all awful. It's all terrible.
It's a terrible situation. Like I said, I do not have confirmation if she's alive or dead. That's just what was told to me, that she is alive and that she's been collecting money. But as I stated, I do not know what type of money it is. I do not know where she's located. I'm waiting to hear back from the said information of what the people have gathered. But my thing is, if indeed it's not her, then it could be somebody pretending to be her using her name, because people
Yeah.
do pick up people's names who are actually dead and or perceived to be dead, and they use their name.
Yep, they do. And they, identity theft, excuse me, identity
Yes, very
theft.
prevalent. It takes nothing to impersonate somebody. All you have to do is talk to them enough and let them spin the web of where they're from, their mother's maiden name, and that's all you need. Birthday, mother's maiden name, and you can be whoever you want to be.
There are legitimately
That's
people that
why
go
you have
out
to be
and,
careful who you talk to and telling people your personal information. I tell you all that all the time. Even when you meet people in general, don't tell them everything about you. They don't need to know your birthday. And especially don't ever answer the question of what's your mother's maiden name. That's a
yeah,
key giveaway. What the
yeah.
hell you need to know my mother's maiden name for? For what?
Mm-hmm.
You have no reason to want to know my mama's name.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Mm-hmm. Or like, where, just personal, real personal stuff, or like, and there are scoundrels out there that go out and research missing
Well, they
people.
do. That was something they
Yeah.
did a long time ago, is
Mm-hmm.
read the obituaries. You
Uh-huh.
want to fake your death. You want to fake your death. You want to move on with your life. You go find an infant that died in his sleep, her sleep, drowning, whatever. And then you go pretend to be that baby boy, that baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
Voila.
There you go.
Now you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This subject is pertaining to the disappearance of Miss Marie, the Aunt of Summer Wells.
Really showing a lot of glare. Now y'all get to really see how old I am. Yeah, it's really, really sad.
Well, it just goes to show you, once again, as I state, you don't know people. You don't know the dynamics of people and their family members and their lives. We just live in a world where there's just a lot of foolishness that goes on and you don't know. But I'm going to say this in this live, and I probably shouldn't say what I'm going to say, but it is my channel and I can say what I want to say.
Amen, amen, amen.
I have decided, starting today, that if I choose to talk about another missing person in the area, let's say, I will not be personally reaching out to you.
I get it.
Just from some things I've gathered over the past couple months and here recently, I will no longer talk to anybody about a missing person.
I get it. Yeah. It can be very disturbing and sad.
Yeah. Just from something that just jumped off here recently.
Yeah.
There'll be no contact. There'll be no me inquiring to find out. If I talk about a story, it may be a story that would be way far away from me, like across the country, but I still would be leery in talking to anybody related to the people in the story. I have a reason for everything what I'm saying, because I can't say it on the live, but there's just certain things that you all don't know that actually goes on behind closed doors, because it's just certain things you can't say on the live because it'd be a pop off.
Right.
But you all need to know that everything that you're hearing and seeing about missing people, it ain't what you think.
There's a reason for everything.
I don't have a way. I can't say what I really want to say, but just know that
there is a reason for everything.
intentions ain't right. That's the only way I can put it.
Yes. It's a disheartening situation.
It's disrespectful. I told you.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful. The stuff that I've learned here recently pertaining to certain people and these missing people. You don't know who you're talking to. I keep trying to tell y'all that. And so I'm going to say this too, also pertaining to my channel. From now on, if I drop the link, if I choose to drop the link, you can no longer hide behind a blank screen. That is the new protocol.
Hello.
There'll be no more incognito. The only person that'll be incognito on the channel will be myself. I have an abundance of content where people can go back in my videos and see who I am. I have pictures of myself I've had up on the community board, which I took them down. Somebody so feloniously stole my picture and put it on Ryan Dean's name. So that's why I took all my personal pictures down. But I still have different pictures of me uploaded on the videos, which I really shouldn't be doing that, because we have some very nasty people out here who don't have anything better to do with their time than steal photographs. But nonetheless, from now on this channel, if you see the link in the chat, if you hit the link, you have to show your face. There'll be no more incognito. There'll be no more incognito panel guests.
Yep.
I'm not rocking that way anymore.
Nope. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I gave you enough time because I couldn't get it together. Every time I tried to go live, I said, you know, wasted a whole hour trying to get on. It just like it kept being one thing after the other. I couldn't get it together, and I was dressed, everything. I was just like, why can't I get on this live?
I kept waiting. And I finally said, well, I'm going to get me something to eat. And then you were like, bing. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, well, okay, here we go.
What I'm trying to explain to the people, because I know, because like I said, I have to be very careful how I word things.
Yes.
Everything is not what you think.
No.
And I don't know how to say it without really saying it. It's just that everything is not what you think.
Perception, people.
When it comes to the missing people. The people who are saying they're missing, the people that are telling you that they're missing, the people that are portraying themselves to be concerned. There are just certain things you don't really know how the people are behaving behind the scenes. And if you did know and had a bullseye view, you'd be mortified. And that's the best way I'm going to put it. And I'm now experiencing that with now, one case wasn't a missing person, but that behavior was strange. So I'm now on 1, 2, 3, 4 situations where something wrong with the people carrying the bone. I'm gonna leave it at that.
It's sad.
What if you know us? What are you talking about if I know you? No, it's a new rule. Nobody's coming back on the panel incognito.
I'm a mod.
This is the direction I'm taking it. There's different things I'm doing with the channel. There's other things I plan to do different with the channel. That is one of the new things with the channel. I no longer want to have empty boxes on my channel with no real live face. Because when you go to other networks, you see people talking and people can see them, they can see the background. That's that. I don't want any more blank boxes up on my screen. It really doesn't look professional to have blank boxes up on the screen.
I'm a mod down in the chat, and she told me today, no Nancy, no incognito anymore. And I was like, oh, okay.
No, I'm the only one. I'm the only one that can go incognito because people know what I look like. People see me, and you know my voice. So if there's a day I don't want to show myself, okay, cool. But everybody else, you're gonna have to show yourself. That's just the rule.
That's what she told me. I was like, all right.
There'll be no more jumping up here drunk and talking crazy and goofing off and no. And then let me make that clear too. There'll be no more in binding. If you are having bind, don't hit the link.
Do what now?
If you are you having bind, alcohol.
Oh, gotcha. Because I didn't
toe up, crunk, don't hit the link.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You want to chat in the chat, but you can't hit the link and be drunk.
Gotcha.
On the line.
Yeah. We're moving on up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because too many passes have been given out the past couple months. No. Because people can't take you serious if you don't act serious. I cut up sometimes. We have our moments where we cut up and we crack some jokes and they can be very crass at times. But as I state, there's a time and a place for everything. And when I'm talking about something serious, I want people to see who is delivering the message pertaining to the information. Thank you, dear. Thank you, 2012. So we're talking about something serious. I want everybody to see who is delivering the content, such as tonight, my guest will be the Chief Operating Officers of Human Aid Solutions. They will be seen because people need to see who they are. Because if that's the case, you just get anybody up here and say, hey, I'm with Macy's department store. I'm the manager. And you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Incognito.
Yeah. I do their windows. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
The only way I would have a person up here talking that you can't see their faces if it's a really serious crime and their life would be in jeopardy as far as showing their face.
And they need to remain anonymous.
If I'm talking about a serious crime and that person would have to be a potential witness and or have to testify, then I would not show his or her face.
They need to remain anonymous. Yeah.
Thank you, Soul Survivor.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. That's the said commentary this evening. It said I got information that Rose Bly is alive. If this is true, where has she been? What has she been doing? Why would she leave her children behind despite this tumultuous marriage? Who was the aggressor in the marriage? Was it she? Was it him? Is it some truth that possibly she was the aggressor? Is she the aggressor?
Right. You all saw my mouth drop open. I was just like stunned like you all.
Thank you, Joelle.
And I mean, if she isn't, and who's to say we have to believe this is only one person information we're getting this from, then like you said, he had to have had help. Who watched the babies? Hello? He had 2 small children.
Well, he said his father was there the night she left out. So she had dinner with the husband, and I'm assuming the father was there eating as well. So that means she left the father, his father, and her children behind, and went to allegedly meet the cousin, but never showed up to meet the cousin, and has never been seen again. Thank you, love. Thank you.
Was this a female cousin?
I'm assuming it was, because I don't really have I don't have a lot of information on the cousin.
So we don't
go back and dig up an original article pertaining to the cousin.
All right. So we're not real sure if it was a female cousin or a male cousin. I'm assuming it was probably a female cousin.
Am I right behind just because how women rock? I would say it was.
It was probably a female cousin. Yeah, probably going to go out and maybe have a few drinks and, you know, probably spend some time together.
That's Jeremy with a J, Petit W. I don't have a set time when Mr. Duggan and the wife is coming on, but I will post it to the community board to give you all a little heads up what time. We have not set a time yet.
But that is this evening, unless something.
But I also will be bringing you more
drastic.
commentary because I didn't know if I really wanted to do this or not. But there's a lot of foolishness going on with the case of Summer Wells. And I'll
Yes,
probably just do
ma'am.
back-to-back lives today because I think the information needs to get out there. I think you all really need to know what's going on in Rogersville, Tennessee. You have no idea what is really going on with these people out here. And you need to be careful of the people that you're following on YouTube. They are not
Yes.
genuine.
Yes, please.
They are not genuine. They're using people to do dirty things behind the scenes, stalking people, doxing, making up stuff about people, bad mouthing other YouTubers. And I always tell you, you always have to be careful of the person carrying the bone. 9 times out of 10, if all they can do is sit up and talk bad about law enforcement and a YouTuber all day, you should be worried about that person you're following because that means there's something wrong with them. Because if you can spend your every waking moment on social media, uploading 5-6 minute videos, 10-minute videos, ranting and raving about such and such YouTuber, this and that means you don't have any time. You don't do anything. You don't have anything to do. You don't have a life. You're mad at the world. And to me, you're a misfit. And you're really no different than the people we talk about in true crime. You have an idle mind. And the idle mind is the devil's workshop. That's why the devil can use you because you don't do anything. Because he said, look at him, look at her. All she do is sit over there all day. She don't do nothing. Well, let me go sit on top of her shoulder, his shoulder.
Let me whisper in her ear.
Use them. That's what he does.
Yeah, and putting down other YT creators constantly, and that's no good. That's just no good. And
well,
I know
my thing is, if that's all you have to talk about, that shows me you don't have any content. I wouldn't even follow anybody that's all they're going to do on their channel is talk about somebody every waking day. Now, I understand you might want to retaliate because somebody said something bad about you and you want to say something, but when it becomes your mantra every day on your channel to where you don't have any content about what happened in New York, what happened in California, what happened in Rome, what's the weather like, that means you don't have anything to bring to the table. You don't have anything. And as what I say, you don't have what it takes to hold an audience. Your audience is only people that's like you. Woo, let me go turn on, see what he talking about today. He over there talking about Sookie Wookie, and she over here talking about Ookie Wookie.
Yeah.
There's more to life than that.
Yeah. And I know
I'm not going to sit up here and talk about somebody else on the YT all day. My channel is not going to be about another YouTuber because, first of all, you didn't build this brand. I built this by one person at a time.
Yep.
And I didn't piggyback off another YouTuber either. See?
Yeah. I remember watching you at your kitchen table. Yeah. I remember starting watching you at your kitchen table. So yes. And I know that's something that you don't like.
I don't need views and likes that bad to where that's going to be my only content. Let me tell you about what such and such said about me, blah, 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 every day. That's all you got. And then you got the nerve to sit up here in the same breath want to talk about missing people, missing children. But all you're doing is talking bad about somebody every waking day. You don't care anything about these children. You don't care anything about these missing people.
Yeah, I know.
Because your channel isn't built on being genuine.
And then you're contradicting. Yeah, and
you don't really have a real bone in your body because you're facetious in nature.
And you're contradicting yourself. You're saying one thing.
You are contradicting yourself. One day you cool with somebody, then the next day you mad at them because they don't agree with something you said. Well, there's lots of things I don't agree with on the YT, social media, but I don't go stalk the people, I don't go harass them. I don't badmouth them. I watch a lot of things on YT I don't agree with, but you'll never hear me say it in my chat. Every blue moon I might say, well, I saw this and I kind of don't agree with this, but I don't go on and on and on about it.
Yes, I know.
Because I'm not getting ready to throw your name out there every day on my channel because then I'm giving you what you want. I'm getting ready to send you views and likes because now the folks getting ready to say, well, she was talking about that. Let me go over there and see what she's talking about or who he is. You see where I'm going?
Yes, you're sticking
so you're sending people over there.
I know it.
I'm not trying to send my fans to no foolishness.
No, what you want to do is you're reporting on your facts. You do your hard work. You do your homework, and no, no.
Yes, it does. Star is true. Yeah, you're right. It gets ragging on others. It is. It's pointless.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, that's their come up every day. They got to be talking about somebody else, and it's sad. That's why I said that's what I'm trying to make you all understand is that you have people on social media that aren't genuine. You got people working behind the scenes pertaining to the missing people that are not genuine. And I'm going to go ahead and say this on my live, and I might catch hell for it later, but I'm going to say this. If you don't have no true intentions of trying to help aid in finding your missing person, sister, brother, cousin, don't talk about it.
Amen. Amen.
It's an old saying. Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Don't cut off your nose, spite your face. There's another one too, but I'm not going to repeat that one on there. Yes. Sad.
What if I was to tell some of you that perhaps the people we are talking about that are missing, they're not? That we just sitting up here moaning and crying over folks that is not missing. That would be atrocious. That they are sitting somewhere looking at everybody crying and moaning over them on social media, making videos about them, and they sitting somewhere eating Doritos and dip, saying, look at them fools. They up there cussing each other out in the chat, arguing with the creator, arguing on social media, all in folks' inboxes. I ain't missing. I'm right here watching you. Stay woke.
Probably down in the chat under a different name. Tang. Might be even firing up some fuel down in the chat.
Hello, Tommy Willow. How you doing, baby? Because, see, you don't know these people. And I'm trying to make you all understand without telling you everything. You don't know the people talking about the missing person. And I know a lot of you trying to figure out, like, Angie, where are you going with this? Read between the lines if you can. And perhaps the people aren't really diligent in finding the missing persons. They may say they are, but they're doing and showing other people things where they're not doing like they should, and be patient with the people, helpful with the people trying to find the missing person. And whenever you start seeing people getting short with people who are trying to aid and help and find a missing person, that leads me to believe there's something else going on. And I'm now seeing this 2 times with a case.
Mm-hmm.
What's your damn problem? People are coming to help you find your loved one. Why are you getting an attitude with the people who are trying to help? Somebody came to you in good faith. Now you're getting a funky attitude with them. It's very, very strange.
Yeah, it is.
Because why would you get an attitude with somebody that's trying to help you? So we now see that with Summer Wells and the father. You're mad at everybody. You're talking bad about everybody. You're down in the law enforcement. You're mad at this group, this group. So that leads me to think you know exactly where your child is. So you're going to, as that rocket science guy said, form the narrative. I got to throw this out because this is where I want you to go. I don't want you going over here on 15th Street. I don't want you going over here on 108th Street. I want you to go right here.
I don't want you to go over to Jonesboro.
Hello,
I don't
Crystal.
want you to go over here.
Wherever.
That's right.
We're going to branch a little bit off of Rose. Tell me what you told, tell the chat what you told me about the 911 call.
Okay. I heard a very good comment. I didn't come up with this on my own, but I was floored when I heard this comment. If a 911 call is made in your county, it will go to your county's dispatch. if a 911 call is made in another county, it will go to that county's dispatch.
Of course, why would it not?
Exactly.
Kind of like right now, if I call 911, I ain't about to get the police department in New York. Stay woke.
No, you won't.
Hello, Scotland. Thank you. Tell us why you're saying that, Nancy.
Because if you listen to that 911 call from the day that Summer Wells went missing, that 911 call was made in the Wells' jurisdiction.
Say that again.
That 911 call that was made on the day that Summer Wells went missing, I believe, is made in the Wells' home in their current jurisdiction.
Both calls? Thank you all. Thank you.
I believe so.
Thank you, Nicole. The call has been released, you guys. Y'all know that. We played that. We've already played the audio of the 911 call.
Because they don't say, to my recollection, they do not say they do not need it transferred. They do not report, let's transfer you to yada yada district. They immediately say, we need
212, we have heard the 911 dispatch call, sweetheart. It was aired on YouTube. I've played it.
I'm sure if you Google or if you go back and type it in on YT, you'll be able to hear it. It's everywhere. But to my recollection, you do not hear them say, we need to transfer.
We got somebody call. We got the father calling from Jonesboro. Bam.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not talking about them calling, asking. We're talking about what the dispatcher was saying on the phone pertaining to the call. That's what we're talking about, the dispatch call.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That means.
Yeah, let me make that clear. The dispatch call is what we're speaking of, not them calling them, not the Wells calling them. We're discussing the dispatch call. That's what we're discussing.
Yes, which would have meant he would have had to have called. He would have had to wait.
Okay, Olivia says Don said he was transferred to his county. You don't need to be transferred to your county. Why would you need to be transferred? You're not there. No. You're calling from wherever you are. So you would call and say, hey, my wife just called me and told me our child is missing. But then possibly, maybe they did tell him. I don't know. Don't you find that convenient? When was that said? Yes, he's a great liar. So he thinks. Mm-hmm. Olivia, when was that said? Bring me a receipt. Olivia says, I don't believe him. I don't either. See, this is what you got to understand. I keep trying to tell you, they watch the content on YouTube and Facebook. Every time you all put out a hypothesis, don't you find it funny they come right back with an answer according to something we've said in the chat and on the live? They won't.
That, Angie, I just heard that a day ago. I just saw that comment a day ago or 2 days ago.
You saw what a day ago?
That comment mentioned about the 911 call a day or 2 days ago. So I don't know where. I have not heard anything about him saying he got transferred or he got put on hold during his 911 call. I have not heard anything about him saying.
Olivia said it's in one of his interviews.
Okay. I haven't heard that.
Okay, Irene says she lives in a rural area, and when I call 911 from my cell, they have to forward mine back to my city.
Well, all I'm saying is when you listen to that current 911 call, not once do you hear anything that sounds like it's being transferred over or
Yeah,
it's
the
been
dispatch.
transferred
Say the
over
dispatch,
from
because people think
the
we're talking about them
dispatch.
calling in. The
Okay.
dispatch is not saying, let me transfer this call.
Right. Dispatch is not relaying that it's being transferred, has been transferred, or anything as the such. And if you listen to any previous 911 calls from dispatch, from any other case, or any other 911 calls that you can listen to sometimes on the YT, you hear that. Now, I don't know if they cut that off from dispatch or anything else.
Well,
So I'm just saying, I thought that very odd.
strange. All of it's strange.
Yeah, it is. And I thought that was a very good comment that I had heard and a very good something that was brought up. I thought that was very, very good. So I thought I would bring that up to you.
Okay, Gina Weaver, why do you think Rose is alive? You found a pic today on YouTube that looks like what she could look like today. Okay, well, I already showed you all a picture of a age enhancement. Shaydock says either Candace wasn't searching or Don wasn't talking to her.
I have a lot of theories on that. I have lots of theories.
Well, as I said, information came to me that Rose is not deceased. If this is true, I do not know. This is just what was told to me today. So I told the person, well, when you get more information, please let me know what you come up with. But allegedly, she is not deceased. She could be. That's the whole point. Who's to say? This could be an issue of stolen identity. Somebody could be using her name or using a likeness of her or telling people that they're her. I don't know.
Didn't we have an issue of all of a sudden grandma took off to Wisconsin or Utah? Something about somebody was needing some help or something. And then all of a sudden, Wisconsin? Maybe, I mean, maybe there's legitimate reason that this could be very well true. And if it was,
Susie, I don't know about that wig. I tried watching somebody's content. It took them too long to get to the point, so I turned off the video. You don't get to the point, I don't listen.
You know, if
Nancy, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? The grandmama's gone to help her daughter that's missing. What are you saying?
No, what I'm saying is, if for some reason this turned out to be a legitimate, factual thing, that it was true, that Rose is alive, that maybe it turns out to be a good thing and that she is alive, and that maybe that there was a real reason that grandma went home to help somebody that was hurt, and that it turns out to be a good thing that grandma's already up there. I mean, maybe it turns out to be a good thing.
What's good about her going up there, Nancy?
Or maybe it was a good thing that grandma got wind of, you know, by way of something. Grandma took off to go home. You know, there's a lot of speculations that can go on. Because what she had been
gone. Rose have summer, I think. Can I say my theory here? Well, baby, you just said it here.
Yeah, you just said it. Pretty simple. Because what is grandma's friend? Because she left at the same time grandma did. Supposedly, they left together. I mean, you know, that's another speculation, but what is grandma's friend? I can't remember her name.
Who knows?
I know, true. I just don't remember her name.
Because you don't know any of these people.
No, I don't. I just don't remember her name.
Cynthia, I hear all what y'all saying about why grandmama went to Wisconsin. That has nothing to do with the fact that your granddaughter's missing in Tennessee.
It's just a sad case that she
Why would
did
I go?
that.
Listen, why would I go help you and my granddaughter's missing here? Stay woke.
That's right. That is a sad thing.
Now I don't have to stay helping no boys because she really couldn't help them anyway because allegedly she had a bad knee. But it's principle. My grandbaby is missing, so I'm gonna go take off and go up north, and my child's children are all gone.
Mm-hmm. Would
Catherine says 911 can't be transferred to other towns, cities, or states. One needs to dial the 10-digit phone number for law enforcement in the community where assistance is needed.
huh.
Universal says they wouldn't leave their grandbaby. Leave if the grandbaby's missing, not for my brother-in-law or anyone.
Hmm.
Rose Myers, she had a falling out with Candace. She is Don's friend now. Laugh out loud. The question about grandma was keeping Candace busy planting flowers, go in to wash hands and help her. What you trying to say, Ladybug? Thank you, Crystal. Oh, the boys have talked. You know the boys have talked. We don't. Thank you, Empress, but we don't worry about them liking anything, baby. It's all good. They just come in to eavesdrop.
Yeah. Take a little nugget away.
We don't look. We don't care.
That's okay.
Just make sure you spell everyday shenanigans right when you
That's
speak.
right. That's right. Give credit where credit's due.
Candace seems to never want to discuss her missing sister, but she had a big pic on the kitchen wall of Rose. Yeah. She's been numb through the entire disappearance of her child.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have much to say about your sister. You don't have much to say about your kid. Whatever you said was past tense, which that has happened. Because when I went to the prayer vigil for Dashina, one of her friends did speak of her past tense. I guess it can be a normal thing to speak of a person because we judge people if they speak of a person in the past tense. But the family, you would hope that they wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, everything's up for interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Ladybug, you're saying grandma was keeping Candace from what may have been going on at the home. Well, then that means you're saying the grandmother's complicit. Anyone else find it weird that Don and Candace have no friends or family supporting them? Only the church people they've known for 3 months. Well, they've known them for longer than that because they've been attending the church for a year, sweetheart.
Yep, that's right.
Let's make that clear in the chat. They did not just start going to that church.
Yep, they've been there for a little
They've
bit
been
longer
going there for a year or more, and they are not members of the Seventh Adventist Church. No pictures of the kids, though. What do you mean, Sharon?
They've been attending, but they are not members.
What, Ladybug? What's your question?
Mm-mm.
Ladybug, I don't know. But all I'm saying is if you're putting that out there, you are saying that the grandmother is complicit in the child being harmed and discarded. Jose, what about him? Hosea, whoever you're speaking of. There's always more to the story. That's the point. I thought I read that Rose was thrown into a trunk on the side of the road, but her car was found elsewhere. Well, nobody can speak of her being thrown in the trunk because she went missing that night and left. Just like the lady spinning the story about what road she took. How do you know what road she took? You would know that.
If they knew that, why wouldn't they?
You're speaking of a route, which means you're saying that what? That's the only route to where her car was found or to the alleged town. You got to remember, she didn't even go meet the cousin. So how do you know what route she took? You just making it sound pretty, but it's nothing pretty about a missing woman from 2009. Whether it's she went on her own, it's foul play. You understand what I'm saying? Or she was abducted.
Yeah.
Empress, that's not nice. Hanging in their houses. Somebody says, I want to hear what the old church members have to say. Indeed. What do they have to say? The old folks do. Yeah. The old people know they'll talk. They may not ever go to the videos and say anything, but they on that main line talking.
Yeah.
They came to our church getting this. Now they child missing. The auntie missing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know about these people hanging in the house. I'm just going to say this about the truck because this is really not my topic of my video. Everything you've been hearing is from those two and H and his mama. So you can try to believe what you want to believe. But we now know that the Tacoma truck is coming from Mr. Don Wells, not an eyewitness. Stay woke.
Mm-hmm. Bingo.
The big bad wolf came and got her, took her through the trail. Don Wells. The Tacoma truck was parked outside. They selling drugs. Don Wells. She went missing, abducted. Don Wells. Stay woke. Well, Ladybug, you can't believe nothing that was said about June 15th. You don't know if that woman was fooling with that woman's knee brace because she never said that in the beginning. That only comes out after you all been watching YouTube. YouTube has been doing all the what if, what happened. And then every time somebody makes a video out of the blue, here comes new information pertaining to June 15th. In the beginning, you never heard anything about a damn knee brace. You heard, I stepped away for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, W. Fresh, 2 minutes.
You get additional pages to the story or the chapter. And that's sad. That is very, very sad.
Vera, what are you talking about? Robin is managing tech, social media. Come on, y'all. I don't believe that.
You know, this whole case has been turned into about 2 adults instead of a missing 5-year-old. And 2 dusty adults.
Thank you, Summer. Thank you. Wait a minute. But in the news interview, they said they don't know anything about a red truck. Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
So why are you now saying the red truck is at the bottom of the drive and now all these people selling drugs? You mean to tell me you've been living out that holler how long? You don't know that the folks sell dope out there? Man, this is with all that.
Yes.
Turn my damn thing on. I ain't got time for the foolishness. See, the narrative keeps changing because they're going by what you're saying on the lie book number 1 and 2. Stay woke. Everything they're bringing to you now is because of what you all are doing right now, talking in the chat, giving your hypothesis of what you think happened to Summer Wells. Now, thank you, Summer, for saying that in the chat. You just said you didn't know nothing. Come forward, all that. Now here comes, oh, they was hanging at the bottom of the drive, getting high. Well, you didn't say nothing to them because that is your house. Yeah, I want to throw that out there since that's been said. That's your house. And you gonna tell me, oh, I'm on my way to work. That's your house. So I'm gonna say something to you directly. Homegirl, can I help you? Did you lose something? Did you call the police? Hey, I see some suspicious people sitting outside my drive. I need an officer out here, a deputy, however it goes. Stay woke.
According to him, he did.
He called the police?
Yeah, according to him.
Well, let's wait and see. Let's see if law enforcement will confirm that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Apparently, according to him, some lady popped her head out with dark hair.
Miss Willow is saying something about Don said she pulled the car. Did anyone else catch that? When he asked how it happened. See, I don't keep up with them interviews. Right, he does because they probably customers. Exactly. They are mirroring, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, how could she hurt her knee and walk around the store for an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she got one of them push carts.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Tanique. Thank you all. Thank you for the compliments, you guys. Thank you so much.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it was parked. It was found in the parking lot. Yes. Well, that's the whole point of what I keep trying to explain to you all. Everything is somebody's version.
Yeah.
So you would think law enforcement would get it right as far as where they found her car. So what was there at the time near the truck stop? I don't know. You got to remember that's years ago. Anything could have been planted. New business now. I don't know. I don't argue anything because I don't know. You'd have to have pictures to show what the truck stop looked like back in 2009, what was actually there on the property, beside the property. I don't know.
Yeah.
My thing is, how many interviews you gonna do? Can't you get everything out in 1 to 2 hours? Stop, Queen.
Exactly. That's why I said you add more pages to the chapter every day.
Yes, Ladybug. Go ahead, Nancy.
You just add more pages to the chapter every day.
Shaydock got a good point. Don says all he does is work. With his trade, he will make 25 to 30 an hour. You tell me he has a house paid for, but trouble paying a $600 car note. Yes. Catherine says she's dead. She's this. She's dead. She's buried. All Don Wells, like we ought to believe him. Yes. Yes, Kimberly, she was married. 2 small children at the time, 1 and 2 years of age. Those girls are they're preteens now. Don continuously mixes up pronouns when he's speaking, which is typical in the speech of someone with narcissistic personality disorder, but it's quite confusing and frustrating. Well, it's not frustrating to me, baby, because I know that when you start using she, you're detached. See, I can call Summer she because I don't know her.
That's right.
And when you're writing in a sentence, you're not going to want to keep saying Summer did this, Summer said this. You're going to eventually break off and start with the original name, which is Summer. The next sentence will be she.
Yeah.
Her. Because it's not going to make sense to keep saying Summer did this, period. Summer said this, period. Summer went down in the basement, period. Summer went up to the moon, period. You're going to eventually say she. But when you're talking about your own child to the news, it doesn't look appropriate to keep calling her or her, she, them, those. You call her by her name.
Her given name. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Y'all stop it. Don has no formal education. He doesn't know real English. He says seen when he should have said saw. He says was when he should have said have. Well, look, I sometimes don't use correct English either. Oh, you talking about this foolishness? Well, we just talk street talk up here because don't nobody understand the real English.
That's trifling, y'all. That's trifling. We can be trifling too.
But he'll be talking about Candace and say he, or supposedly talking about others and say we.
Well, that's we can be trifling too.
Yes. A redundant chapter. They have redacted each other's lives. Yes. Mm-hmm. It seemingly they didn't know who Summer was. Yes. They weren't invested like the West. I don't have any photos because I didn't want you anyway.
Yeah.
I don't have photos because I got rid of you. Anyway, stay woke. What I tell you about old shoes? Do you go back in the dumpster to retrieve your old shoes? Or do you wait a couple months and say, damn, why did I throw those shoes away in the garbage? But you can't go back and get them. Could it be that they wish they never got rid of Summer Wells? Stay woke.
That's what. Yes, ma'am. That's right. That's right. Remorse.
Wish I had more patience with my child. Wish I was a better mother. Can't bring her
Right.
back now.
I think. Mhm. I think
Yes,
I
yes,
wish I.
pretty face.
I think I wish I'd have done some things differently. Yeah. I think I would have done some things differently now.
Sharon has a good comment. Summer's the perfect crime. Will there be an arrest? Don made it clear his boss has called the truck at the end of his drive. The time he got home, he had an hour to come up with something.
Yeah. I mean,
Now, you can't believe anything. Yes, Tam, crying for herself. That's exactly what Miss Bly was doing. I'm caught. My foot is caught in the trap. I can't get it out.
that's right.
They're on to us. Yeah, I'm going to put us in there.
Yeah.
They know they're talking too much on the YT and the lie book. Those people talk too much. They're analyzing everything, and that damn everyday shenanigans, she won't give up.
More power to you, Angie. That's right.
Power for the people.
Power for the people.
I don't know, baby.
Golden Q.
There's disputes about who got there first, pertaining to the police and Mr. Wells.
Well, if you hear it from his interview, police were there early that morning.
Well, Star, I'm going to say this like I told the other fans. You would be a fool to get rid of your child and CPS indeed was coming for a visit. Don't you think you'd be suspect number one if you knew that CPS was coming to your house? You're going to kill your child? Why? To hide what? You now have a whole body missing.
Exactly.
You knew I was coming, but now your child is missing?
Exactly. 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 And I remember your live the other day when, you know, CPS had apparently been there because I remember us talking about this a while back when the boys had been told when they were all the children were downstairs and the boys had been told to move upstairs because all the kids, because of the one girl, could not all sleep together. And when all the kids were downstairs, Candace had talked about all the kids were downstairs and she had to move the boys upstairs.
This is before she went missing.
Before Summer went missing, that because Summer was a girl, that all the children could not sleep together and that she had to move the boys upstairs. So therefore,
right, Sharon,
I guess the older boys had to move upstairs because there was not enough room for all the children downstairs. So therefore, they had been there. Somebody had told her.
Tang Lex, that's true. I don't know why the grandmother was able to leave. I do find that suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tam says they want the children separate rooms. CPS. Yes, when your children get to a certain age, the children have to sleep in different rooms. HUD is also the same way as far as Section 8. At a certain age, they do not want boys and girls sleeping in the same room. When they're toddlers and infants, they can sleep in the same room. But when they get to a certain age, they do not want boys and girls mixing in the same room. So if you got an 8, 9-year-old, they're not going to want that boy, girl sleeping in a room with a toddler. You understand what I'm saying? It's too old.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, and listen, Sharon said the house is a shithole, inside and out. I'm dead. If Summer was snatched downstairs, why move the boys from upstairs to downstairs? Yeah, well, we know. See, this is why, to some degree, them talking is a good thing.
Exactly.
I don't see the point in talking to this Chris person, this other person, but to each its own. Only thing they've done basically is change the narrative and what actually happened, and every day keep adding something extra, flower bed, this, a truck, you know. Next, you're going to hear the circus came to town.
Well, we know who the ringleader is. We know who's going to be the. Yes, you're true. So true.
Is that place really for a campsite, like a vacation, rather than a home? No, baby. There were steps going down to that basement. It's a makeshift basement.
Yes, it is. Yes. It's Night Owl has a very good description for the steps.
What is?
It's called the rabbit chute.
Man, hey.
I
The
didn't
stuff
know.
you all come up with, let me tell you. There are times I sit to myself and I be in my bed just sitting thinking about stuff I've read in the chat, and I just bust out start laughing to myself. I said, if they had cameras in here, they'd be like, man, that lady's lost her mind in there. Because I just be in here dying laughing at some of the stuff you all say in the chat. After I shut down, and then I wait a while, I go back in, I watch my live so I can see what you all were saying, comments and stuff. And some of the stuff I'm telling you, my eyes just water because it's like, what in the world did I just hear? What did I just read?
I really like
some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I really like.
Yes, Irene, right. Didn't Alice say she called CPS on Candace before, or am I wrong?
No, Allison did say that. And
somebody is saying she did work on the carnival circuit, carnival scene.
She did.
I didn't hear that.
Right. Candace did say that. She did say that, and she was in Arkansas. She did say that because she got stranded. She got stranded in Missouri, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, pretty face. I agree. Something's wrong.
If I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
They hire felons. Yes, they hire anybody with a pulse. They want somebody to do that's day work. So they don't really care about your background. I just need you here to operate the rides, work over here in the concession stand. I don't need you long.
Yep.
Because even if you can't travel with us, we'll go hire some people in the new town that we go take the carnival to.
Yep. If I'm not mistaken.
Kim is stupid. Kim's talking about they poor. Oh, you really mean say po-po?
Po-po. Hey, po-po to me is the police.
Not the po-po police, but the po-po.
Yeah, you the po-po. You the po-po.
Okay, Miss Irene.
Yeah, I think it was.
Somebody say she got stranded in St. Louis. That's what Nora June is
That's
saying.
what I was going to say. She was stranded in St. Louis.
You do have to be careful at carnivals because that's the whole point. You're not doing a background check on these people. And then who goes to carnivals? Children. Who goes to state fairs? Children. Town fairs. Children. So you got all these walks of lives running around in the midst of children, and you don't know nothing about these people. You have to think.
Yeah, she left.
That's the devil's playground right there. A bunch of street people working in fairs and children are running around them.
Come on. You only know what goes on. She was young when she left home, and then she went and did the circuit with the carnival, and she got stranded in St. Louis and then called her mom. And I think her mom, if I'm not mistaken, went from Arkansas to St. Louis.
How did she get stranded? I don't understand what happened. Her car broke down or something?
No, I think she just decided to quit.
But she didn't get stranded. She left on her own. That's on her.
Well, that's the way she tells it. She got stranded. So I don't know if she just, whatever. Something happened. We'll just put it that way.
Let's address this. I wonder why nobody's called CPS on Hunter's mom. They probably have Miss Holmes. I think you know by now. CPS is probably looking at Big Girl by now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Why would they not?
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Misfits bunch, yes. She's still not mature. Who are you speaking of, Suzanne?
Which one?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Carnival people are known to be dangerous. Well, this is like what I told Nancy earlier. People can say, because I've heard this recently about a certain case, that this person is known to be dangerous or hard knock or this, that, and the other. But in the message, hold on. People can only become what you allow them to be. And that's what you need to know about people. If I think you're hard, you tough, you rough, a lot of people say it, then that rumor goes around. Now everybody believes that. So my thing is, you put your drawers on the same way I do. You might be the type that pop off at the mouth or pop off, want to hit people, get crazy, drunk, whatever. But you've been allotted to do that because people have tolerated you to be that person. But it doesn't matter if you rough and tough over here. There's somebody bigger, better over there.
That's right.
And it's just a vicious cycle.
Right.
What you allow people to be. In the end, they are just humans walking around pretending to be something that they're not. So nobody cares about biker groups, Hells Angels, gangsters, Crips, Bloods. Nobody cares about that stuff. In the end, when the curtains go down, they are lonely, empty vessels who cry, moan, complain, insecure, just like you and everybody else.
They're human. Straight up. They have emotions. Or at least we hope they do. It's probably one of the first times I didn't go to the actual live before I came up.
Lord.
So I have no idea who's down there.
So
hello, everybody.
I will be bringing you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Some information pertaining to all the shenanigans going on with Summer Wells. There's a lot that you all probably don't know about, but there are people who are out here representing themselves to be concerned about the child, and they really are not. It's a message I just got.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of people that's pretending that they are concerned about this child, but they are in this for felonious reasons pertaining to Summer Wells. And I will bring you that said information. It will probably be not so nice information. I'm sure they will try to come for the queen. I'm not really worried about that because I stand on my own. But my thing is that I keep trying to tell you all, you have got to be careful of the people you're listening to on the YT and social media and following in behind people who you think are genuinely concerned about Summer Wells. You don't know these people.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to be very careful about listening to the content, if that is the appropriate word to use, or I'm going to call it the 211, and digging in your pocketbook and giving up your money.
To certain
Do I think the videos are from the same day? I don't know, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
But I do find it odd that you would dress your daughter in her school outfit, and that was June. So why would you be dressing your child in her school outfit? When did school start? August? Up there?
Sometimes September. Sometimes
so
after
why would I be? First of all, who goes shopping for the kids' school clothes in June? Stay woke.
Yeah. It depends on where you're at. Sometimes they don't start until after Labor Day.
Why would I be putting my child in school clothes months ahead of time? And who goes school shopping that soon? When one, we look at how you look and carry yourselves, your property inside your house, the pictures of your daughter where she looks dirty in most of her photos. You want me to believe you went school shopping for Summer Wells in June? Stay woke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only saying this because you all won't shut up on the YT. I'm only telling you about the red Tacoma because you won't shut up on the YT. You keep worrying about what the hell I did on June 15th. Well, now I was fixing my mama's knee brace. Stay woke.
I'm going to give it to you one more time. I'm going to add one more or two more sentences to my statement because I went back and I read what everybody was talking about on the YT. Everybody's statements on Facebook.
The point still remains, why would I be buying a long sleeve shirt and pants in June? Stay woke.
Why would I be buying fuzzy socks or boots or anything else?
Kinsley says that they don't buy those kids a damn thing.
They did that day or the day before. That still look brand new to me. That's just my opinion.
Well, Kim, that's the whole point. Everything's up for interpretation. But this is why I said what I said. Stop talking, and there'd be nothing for anybody to misinterpret.
Be nothing for anyone
If
else
you
to
would
talk
be quiet,
about.
I have nothing to say about how you living, school clothes on, off, video on, off, dead baby, alive baby, hand move, didn't move. See where I'm going? Red tub, no tub, car, no car. If you just shut up. Stop posting stuff.
Thank you, Angie.
YouTube cancer. You got that right. Because I've been seeing most of the YouTube content is what they call a metastasized. It's cancer that's been spread to the bones, the femur, the left knee, the right knee. Shut up, Courtney.
To the brain and to the cancer. To the it go not to cancer. Goes to the
Someone is saying that was the child's funeral clothes. I hate to say it, Lord have mercy. Stop.
That came well, okay. Came out of Don Wells' mouth. Came out of Candace's mouth too. They both said that was
Thank
her
you, Star. Thank you, honey.
first day of school.
Chicken head. Okay, chicken head. Girl, that's a hell of a name. Good God Almighty. Oh, I can't with you. Grandma probably bought it. It was in the back of the truck.
That is a very unique name.
Well, that's the whole point. Wouldn't you already have planned that day out to where you wouldn't even have to be digging in somebody else's box for your child's clothes? I'm just saying, think about everything that you're hearing. Think about everything that's being repeated to you.
Chicken head. I've seen that name.
I hope they have them on camera at the stores. Well, that's going to be also a factor in this storyline. Surveillance at every business. Also, what the boys saw that afternoon. If they were actually left alone. If actually the CPS were coming, and did they see their sister enter the house on June 15th?
Mm-hmm.
Long story, how you got that name? Chicken head. I don't know. You was doing something you had no business. Chicken head. Lord, that's too funny.
Yeah, that is a unique name.
Oh, yes. This is something 2012 is saying. During the interview, Don said all the dogs were gone. The interview he did with Chris, he said no dogs around the house that day. So you mean to tell me every dog left with their puppies, even the ones in that hole that Candace pointed out in the interview with Chris? So you mean to tell me on that day, all the dogs got up and said, we're going to do the electric slide on down the hill?
But.
Please stop.
But, Angie, the day when they brought the dogs up to search, we had to... Candace had said that had she known they were going to bring dogs up on the property, she would have found somewhere to put her dogs.
Say what now?
The day they brought the dogs up to search the property.
Yeah, I heard her say that. They knew we had dogs. They were da-da-da-da-da. That didn't have nothing to do with Summer. The dogs are trained. It don't matter if a bear went across the grass. It ain't got nothing to do with the scent for your child.
I know, but he said the dogs weren't there that day. That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? Don trying to say the dogs weren't there that day.
Well, where did the dogs go, Nancy?
That's what I'm saying. He said the dogs weren't there that day, and she's saying, had I known that they were going to bring dogs up on this property, I'd have found some place to put the dogs. So which is it?
Anybody in their right mind knows the dogs were there. Where else would they be?
They wouldn't be anywhere else. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
This is why y'all keep running over here wanting to watch these interviews. You're not listening to nothing.
No.
Because you have to use common sense. Anybody that alive say the dogs weren't there, you should know that anything else they said is a bunch of bullshit.
Wow.
So all the dogs ran off on June 15th. All the days after the year, 365 days of the year, on that one day out of 365 days, your dogs ran off the property the day your child went missing. So what you want me to believe? The phantom was what? He was a sea creature. He came up out the ground, scared the dogs, and they ran off. Was it Godzilla that came? I'm thinking. How you doing, Priscilla? I know it's you. Welcome, honey. Whether they bark or not, they didn't leave that day. Well, let's go here. Where are the dogs at now?
Well, I'm hoping not there anymore. I'm hoping they've been
Suzanne got a
rescued.
good point. How would he know if he was at work? Ting.
Yes, I know.
You see, Don, and I'm going to close out because I'm approaching hour 2. You
Uh-huh.
keep talking to that YT and that lie book, but what you're doing is telling us you were there. Because
Like
you
I
keep
said.
saying things that only a person there would know.
Mhm.
You want us to now believe 7 weeks in, almost 8 weeks, the dogs got up with their backpacks and their Kroger bags and they all got boogied on down that driveway. And where the hell did they go? To the church?
Don't,
Shut up,
don't,
Wayne.
don't.
Soul Train is coming. They jumped on the Soul Train. Where they
Yeah, I
go?
know what Soul Train
You
is.
stop talking. You sound stupid. The more you keep talking to Chris, you keep talking to Chris. Let's see where Chris will be when you get them handcuffs on. We want to start doing jailhouse interviews. Chris Watts. I said that.
Mm-hmm.
You're retarded as hell. Excuse my language.
I know. I know what you're
Seems like
saying.
somebody recording somebody. Hold on. Don said that Chris was recording him. Well, I mean, you've been interviewed. Why would he not? You've been recorded when you do an interview. Yeah, he probably he lies. He said they do that sometimes, but maybe 2 or some were there probably. Yeah. All the dogs gonna take off. So you want me to also believe the puppies ran behind the big dogs? Did you see how them dogs was laying down when Chris first went there to do the interview? You want me to believe them same dogs was up and decided on June 15th, we getting ready to go to the swimming hole. We getting ready to go to the swimming pool. Come on, y'all. We going into town. Get us a slushie.
We're not talking wintertime. We're talking heat. Hot.
Yeah, the dogs went to the summer cabin on the other holler. Yeah. All the dogs got up. Come on, y'all.
They went to the juke joint.
Wait a minute. CPS coming. We gotta go, y'all. Woof, woof. Come on. Come on, everybody. Come on. Get on mama's back. We get ready to go down the road.
They went to the juke joint.
Yeah. They was with me last night.
They went to the juke joint. They took the dog. They went to the puppies to the babysitter, and they went to the juke joint.
Yeah. I saw one of them last night. He said, Angel, what you doing here? I said, what you doing here? Shut
Right.
up.
I'm acting up. That's what I'm doing.
You know, y'all stop now. Y'all talking stupid talking about on the East Wing. I'm dead. I gotta get out of here.
Yep.
Because I got an interview coming up soon with the chief officers of Human Aid Solutions. I will be having those parties here to tell us about their organization and the goal of the organization and the mantra of the organization and how they are here to help the general public and what their plight is. And I want to thank Miss Nancy for joining me. And as I state, there'll be new things going on with the channel. So from here on out, if I drop the link, you're welcome to hit the link, but you cannot be I was gonna say incarcerated.
Incognito. I hope I'm not incarcerated. Lord Jesus.
You cannot be inebriated on the live, and you must show yourself from here on out to talk on Everyday Shenanigans. There will be a time when I will be visual to you, and there may be a time when I'm incognito, but from here on out, all guests must show themselves on the panel. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, The Dream, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you. It's in every description of my video. I want to thank you all for joining me. But as I stated to you guys, that everything you see is not genuine pertaining to a missing persons case. That the people who are wanting to help allegedly find the people are not genuine. I've seen some things recently that have disturbed me pertaining to some missing people here in my general area and this case. And I realized that sometimes you can't help those who are saying that they're concerned about their loved one, that perhaps they may not be involved, but they're not showing they really want to get help in finding their loved one. And there's just certain things, as I said, I cannot repeat on the live, that have shown me there's something going on behind the scenes. And these people are not going to tell you everything, but they'll tell you some things to show you that they're disingenuous. And so one would have to say, do you want the person to come back? Are you really wanting this person to come back? Because you're doing and saying things that leads one to think you're not concerned. Because as I state, if you would turn on the people who are trying to help you, you're sending a message that you don't want the person back. And that's my personal opinion, because there are avenues out here to help you get the word out about your missing family member. And if you're willing to turn on those avenues, make excuses why you can't talk to them, meet with them, greet with them, get angry with them, other entities, then you're sending the message you don't really care about your loved one. And that's the Queen's opinion.
Yeah.
Join me here a little bit later with Human Aid Solutions. The chief operating officers will be here live to discuss their organization. I want you to come back and join me, and we will sit and listen to what they have to say. And thank you all for joining me. Thank my new viewers who stopped in the chat. Thank you all for stopping by. Subscribers, new subscribers, thank you all so very much. I thank the mods who jumped on. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Thank you, Miss Nancy.
You're
Come
welcome.
back a little bit later. Sit back and enjoy the ride. It should be an interesting live. We'll learn more about this organization, and then the Queen will drop some more tea into the chat after I let them step down. We're gonna bring you all the tea pertaining to Rogersville, Tennessee, what's going on out there, and all the little dirty people who have been working behind the scenes to stir up trouble in Rogersville and stir up trouble on the YT. Yes, the Queen is gonna give you what you want. We're gonna share the foolishness that you people have been engaging in pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells. So please join us later for that live. Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome. Thank you, Queen. Thank you in the chat.
Thank you all for viewing. God bless all of you. Stay safe. Have a prosperous and safe week. If you see something, say something. Chad Carr, 32, mission from East Tennessee, Clinton, Tennessee. Foundation, Mindy Lowe, you on blast. Stand account.
Thank you.
Chad Carr. Tashina Kyle, 27, missing from Knoxville. Where is she? I think we know who's behind the disappearance of Tashina Kyle. Come on, homeboy. Tell where she is.
Thank you.
You can't run. You're locked up. You ain't going nowhere. No bond. Tell the truth. Give the family closure. What is it, Ladybug? I don't have a time, sweetheart. I can't tell you.
I'm going to jump down. Prayers for Summer and the boys, Will's boys.
Yes, yes, a prayer for the boys. Yes, sorry about that.
And Classic. Prayers for everyone. Thank you, Queen. Thank you for all your hard work.
Bye. Ladybug, what you got to say? I got to go, baby. I don't know what she's saying. Thank you all. Well, she's not going to ask, so you can put it on the community board. Any comments you have, please put the right one according to the subject matter. When you put comments that don't have anything to do with the community post, it throws people off to the conversation pertaining to the post. So if you have any commentary you want to put on my post, put it only on the post pertaining to that subject matter. Thank you. Over 400,000 missing children. It's crazy. Yes. And a lot are African-American children who do not get the exposure that they rightfully need and deserve. All lives matter, but we have an abundance of Black children missing, and nobody is rallying for them. Nobody is speaking about them, and that needs to change starting today. God bless all of you. Thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Talk to you guys later. Thank you.